there we go.
Oh, also, no
Beautiful.
cursing in your podcast, right?
Pardon me?
No cursing in your podcast, right?
You can do whatever you want to do, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, brother.
All right. You can do whatever you want to do. Just don't go too crazy.
Nah, I'm chill. I'm chill. I just want to make sure I respect the rules of your platform. You know what I mean?
You're not going to deplatform me anytime soon.
Okay, cool. Hey, when you get up there, bro, when you get up there, you probably will, which is a good thing.
C.E.L.L.BEATZ, what's going on, my man? How are you?
Rory, man, doing good, my brother. Thank you for having me on, and good to finally meet you, man. Virtually, but still good to finally meet you.
Yeah, but we've met each other in the DM. We met each other on our Instagram posts, showing the digital currency and all that good stuff.
Yes. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Let's get straight down to business, man. You a busy man. You doing your thing. You're a renaissance man, you know?
Thank you, man. I just try to stay active, man. Like I always say that when you're alive and breathing, why stop at one thing to do? There's more things. You got 10 fingers. Try to occupy each finger, man, and do
Mm,
everything and build houses.
I
If
feel
you
you.
just have, you know what I'm saying? So like I just try to like keep my head on my shoulders and just like have different access and avenues to better myself and better my brand and just keep going rather, you know what I mean? I don't want to like be remembered for somebody that didn't do anything or was remembered by something. I want to be remembered by something way beyond me. I want to leave something here or wherever someone saw somebody wearing my brand. It don't even have to be me. It could be something I left. And I've always striving to get there to make it bigger than what it is right now. You know what I mean?
Where does the name C.E.L.L.BEATZ come from? Where does that originate?
I always love that question because, man, like CELL is the acronym. So CELL, when you see my apparel, it's like, the four dots, the acronym, right? So CELL is creator, evolver, life learner. So I always tell people when I do pop ups or when I do shows or when I just go out and network, I say, look, we all create in life, we all evolve in life, we all learn things in life, right? That applies to each and every single one of us. We are all CELL. And that goes back to the fact where I'm saying I'm leaving a legacy where we all can live by. You know what I mean? Way beyond me. So I got the name CELL from, my favorite manga, Dragon Ball Z. There's a villain called Cell in there, and then he was very like brilliantly designed. He's like the epitome of a mirror image of you, but a do it better than you. You know when they say that like he looked more than that person than the person himself or herself. That's how I, got the name. So I took it. We are all made up of cells, right? Single living organisms. We are made up of cells. So I took that name and I wanted to have a deeper meaning to it. I wanted to make sure that like I had something that sticks with people. Creator, evolve a life learner, something that embodies that name cell. But in the human form, it embodies us to like do whatever we want within whatever we choose to do in our lives. So that's where CELL comes in with me with music or me with doing my clothing apparel. And with anyone else, we want to be a doctor, a lawyer, you want to be a veterinarian, you want to be I don't know, a firefighter, police officer, whatever you want to be, you will still sell. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to have that as a stigma for what I want for my brand.
I love that you say Dragon Ball Z because I feel like we're both a Dragon Ball Z fan here. You know what I mean? And things like that. I'm more of Team Vegeta though. You know what I mean? And you know the
Prince of all sayings. Prince of all sayings. He always gets his tail kicked.
yeah, but you know what? If you would have put the time and the energy in the chamber like Goku, he would be up there. But that's the difference. You see what I'm saying? And I think that it correlates to even in life where we see a lot of people around us that don't want to put the time, they don't want to put the work in. You know, you told me you work a 9 to 5 and you're still doing what it is you're doing, the entrepreneurship, you're selling your brand, you're making your music. Same thing with me. I work a 9 to 5. I do the podcast, I do the editing, I do everything self made. Let's talk about that now. How do you find the time for the audience that are listening right now? How do you find the time to really get this done? Because I tell them and they don't want to listen. So maybe you can tell them and maybe they'll listen to you.
Listen, Rory, I feel like you make the time for what you want to make time for. That's with anything in life. If you want to go to the club and party and spend a whole bunch of money and buying drinks and buying on, popping bottles and spending on whatever, you will want to do that. If you want to go out there, go to college, have your 4 year degree, and go to get your master's and get a good 6 figure job, you going to do that. So you make time for that. You make time for something because you don't want to feel like you're stuck. You don't want to be in the mud forever. No one does. But some people get too comfortable, Rory, and I'm not comfortable. I'm always moving. I'm a moving puzzle. So I always play Tetris within myself. I always land. I always have a soft landing. You know, I may crash, but I can revive myself and get back up and do the same thing again because I'm not satisfied. So how I make the time is like, okay, if I'm doing this from 9 to 5, then 5 to 8, I make sure I'm doing whatever it is C.E.L.L.BEATZ Productions related, period. Something has to allocate my time, whether it's going to an event, doing pop-ups, performing at an open mic, or doing shows, or even going out in respite, right? If you go out anywhere and then people just stop you and say, hey, that's a nice shirt. I like that eye exam shirt. Or I like this tie dye right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, that's still interacting, doing something and not being a machine to doing one thing. So I always make time. I try to say, like, okay, when I go home, I'm going to work on these beats right here. I'm going to make some music right here from like 7 to 10 or something like that. Or if I'm going to an event from 7 to 10, at home from 11 to 12 or 1 or whatever, I make sure I have some time to do some music. And that process repeats. You make time for people. When people say that you don't make time for them, it means that they don't have time for what they're doing because they just leaning on you like they don't got nothing going on. So it's also a motivation thing where I don't rely on people. I don't depend on people. I don't make people think that I need them for anything. Of course, the added help does help, but I've learned from doing this that like you cannot rely on everybody to do anything for you. You got to get up and get and do it for yourself because if you rely on people to get things done for you or just to do a small thing, it may be small to them, but it's big for you. And that's it. I'm not relying on anybody to do anything for me because I worked too damn hard for this and I'm still continuing to work hard to build the brand. And I just want to lead by example and show and be vocal about it. You know what I mean? Because you don't play with your babies, you don't play with your kids about your kids, and this is my baby right here. You know what I mean? This everything. So I just try to make sure I have the time to do it and just keep going. You never know where it's going to lead you. You know?
You you speak you speak my language because it's like the same thing. I had a coffee meeting and I was telling the person, they're like, "Oh, well, do you have any kids?" I said, "The podcast is my baby. It's my kid. It's been 6.5 years. I started to make the transition and start making those incremental movements in 2021. So a lot of people listen to this and they say, well, from 2016, October 31st to 2021, what changed? I kept going. I kept pushing forward. 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Being a health and a fitness trainer. But I never gave up on myself. Now, have other people gave up on me? Yes. Have family gave up on me? Has friends gave up on me? Have relationships gave up on me? Yes. But who's still here? We're still here. We still doing what it is we need to be doing because just know those same people are watching every single movement. Now, the funny thing is that social media game. Because see, the social media game tells you everything you need to see, right? Social media has people on looking. They're sometimes liking, they're in your stories, but they're not engaging. They're not buying necessarily product from C.E.L.L.BEATZ. They may not be listening to the podcast, but they see the clips. They see what we're doing. And then when they run into you, it's like, oh, I saw the podcast. Oh, I see you were doing your merchandise sales here. But did you buy? That's the question.
Did you
Did you
share?
actually fully listen to the episodes? You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And it's like, do you share? Like, do you? Because people, it's funny, Rory. I put this post. I post something on my IG and I think on Facebook too, even on Treads. Because Treads with the whole new Treads thing, I'm having fun with that. I think that's a genius thing, by the way. But I posted and I said like, um, you know, people don't waste time on people that don't pay attention to you. Let them mind their business. Let them mind their business and then let them keep, because if you keep worrying about if they're supporting me or not, or anything like that, I used to worry about that so much and just see, oh, who's not supporting? Oh, you're on my shit list. This on my shit list. You're not getting no merch. You're not coming up with me. No, you're staying right there. I stopped that because I realized, going back to the first question, how do I make time for myself? I'm just heavily motivated by that alone right there. Like, I know who doesn't support me. I know who, gave up on me. I know who just looking at like, oh, yeah, he is doing this apparel thing, music thing. He's just having clothes here. He's just yeah. But you always watching my stories every day. I pay attention to who watch my stories, and it's funny that the same people that look at your stories every day don't like your stuff, don't comment on it, don't engage with it, don't interact with it. But guess what? The reason why that's the case, they're waiting to see if you're gonna blow or not. And if you don't blow, they're just gonna put you to the side. But the moment you do blow, you get traction in X, Y, Z. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I saw you post this, that. I always knew you can do it." I'm like, "Bullshit." Yeah, but I'm like this. I'll just humbly say thank you and keep it going because I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe people nothing. We don't owe anybody anything. The only people we owe is people that supported us and sacrificed us in day one and make sure they taken care of. You know,
That's a fact.
I focus. That's all I focus on for real.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's real talk there. You know what I mean? It's quite, and I think that I see a lot of creators, content creators want to getting in the space and they get discouraged by that because they don't see the possible likes, they don't see the traction, they don't see the shares. And I always say to them, don't give up, right? It doesn't matter if you're getting one view, maybe you get one like, be around the people that you see that are getting the success. They're outside, right? They're around successful people. One of my last episodes, shout outs to Money Buys Happiness. It's being in the space with the right people that you know are going to elevate you along the way. Building relationships. A lot of people don't want to build relationships. People think that building a relationship is going out on a Friday, Saturday night into a nightclub, having, bottle service, having drinks, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Chasing all different things. Sometimes you got to put that to the side. You know what I mean? You really got to really engage with yourself and dig deep. You got to sacrifice. Sometimes you can't go to every barbecue. It's work for come first. Sometimes you can't go to every, hangout play date with the friends and whatever you're doing. You sometimes got to focus on yourself. And I'm like, yo, if more people cut off the distractions, they'd be able to progress forward. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, and preaching to the choir on this Sunday evening, Rory, because there's been times where like it was both fields, like where I would like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and have fun. And then when I go out and have fun, I'm like, damn, I could have been home right there working on music or working on my bread or working on how I could make the power better, make this better, what new networking events I should go to. Or I combine it, I'll say, like, you know what? Let me go to a networking event. How about that? That could be my hangout, but it could be business. It could be something that can benefit me and the people that I'm engaging with. Maybe that can help the brand propel forward. If I just go to a networking event, it don't even got to be music related. Just go to a networking event. People of all different careers, entrepreneurs, learn, go to seminars. Um, just put that on the vision board, and then we put that on the vision board, you can actually see, like, you know what, I see myself doing this, going here to engage, and I actually do it rather than going to Times Square, going to the club, getting cutting up and doing all kind of shenanigans, right? Because I've done it. But at the same time, we've all done it. Not perfect, but it's about balancing your time and also making sure that you surround yourself with the people that can make you a better person. Not even just for your brand, but a better person. Sometimes you have bad influence around you, and then the influence becomes the demon, you know? But you're trying to be on the other side of things where you're not trying to be that person anymore or try to have the distractions that's going to take you off course, you know? So I always make sure that I have good people around me and tell me when I'm wrong. I don't want yes people around me all the time. I do
Mm,
not want that.
talk
I
about
need
that.
people that can get in my face and tell me what I'm doing wrong. It could be tough love. I may not like it, but it's for my better good. As long as it comes from a place of love and not hate. Because that can also happen when someone's hating on you and tell you that, but it's not with good intentions. You gotta have people with good intentions that knows what's best for you, that knows you. enough to talk to you in a way where like you gotta listen, you gotta you gotta knuckle up and prepare yourself for the world because this is what's gonna happen if you keep doing this trajectory. Because not everyone's for you. You're for self. You're for self for one. You know what I'm saying? So I always make sure that like I surround myself with people that's thorough and that's gonna set me straight. You know what I mean? Keep me
No, no.
keep me focused, level headed.
So true. So true. And y- you say about the accountability partners, it's crazy. I feel like the timing of this is like we're in sync because I have a piece that's coming out in about a few days, right? Where we talk about accountability partners in relationships, dating.
Yeah,
And I think that more men and more women need to have the right accountability people that are going to check you.
yeah,
That how are you going to be doing those weekly calls? It could be, right? Having just the little free game we given you in this little space of time, networking groups, meet with people, set up a Zoom, set up something, Google Hangouts,
yeah.
right? And be around people that you're going to be like, yo, maybe it's a Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. Surprising, this is what we're doing, but it's a podcast. You know
Well,
what I
right,
mean?
right, yeah.
And take that time, if it's 30 minutes, yo, what are your wins that you're looking to produce for the week? And then circle back. And that's how you can keep everybody accountable. That's some pen and paper movements right there. I know people miss that though. But that's how
Yeah,
you start building. You know what I mean?
absolutely, bro. Absolutely, because an accountability session is like a therapy session with the people that knows you best, rather than going to a therapy session with somebody that doesn't know you and you're paying for it. You know, it's kind of like, damn, I'm paying something to express myself to somebody that I don't know. Now, to each his own. I'm not saying that's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's not, oh, that's wrong. I'm saying, but like, you would rather, it's a very much more natural and more real feeling when you have an engagement group with your friends or people that you know or knows you, probably sometimes more than you know yourself. And you have that weekly conference call, like everybody's up to bat, like, yo, I saw you post this on Monday, not the move. And it stays there. The thing is, it stays there. It don't get out. This is where y'all kind of like have that real one-on-one or a group therapy session talk. You can argue, you can do this, you can do that, but it stays there. Stays there. And then the next day, you remember that interaction and encounter from yesterday. Like, you know what? They were right. And I liked it. I reacted because I was defensive. And if I was defensive, that means that means that it was something for my better good, and I just didn't hear it correctly. I just probably went in one ear, went out one ear, and went out the other. But I brought it back in, and I'm like, you know what? They were right. I was just in denial, or I was in defense mode. And then you remember that for the rest of the week, and then from the mistake you made last week, you correct that this week, today. And then guess what? That today you're gonna make another mistake. That's a reason for the next meeting next week. So every energy we put out there on social media, I feel like it's like we want the world to know that we mess up. Because we have to feel it. Because it's a reaction, it's a quick twitch. We want the world to know. We want you to know. Unless you put it on close friends, or you put it on private, or you just about to hide people from watching your stuff. But for the most part, you want to show people how you feel. You want people to see it. You're hoping
So
it
true.
because you want the engagement of what the celebrities get, but you're not getting it, which makes you kind of depressed and makes you self-aware, like, damn, I'm not important, or I gotta do something outlandish to go viral. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, rather than focusing on your own brand and your content and you. If you're not right within yourself, how you gonna distribute that to the world and how are they gonna understand you? They're not gonna understand you regardless. So what makes you think that they're gonna care enough for you to do something out of your character just to get some attention to make you feel better temporarily?
Self
You know?
care. Self care is number one,
And mental
and
health.
yeah, and mental health the second. And with self care is us as men, and I'm gonna speak even more as us as black men. We have a stigma that's attached. You know what I mean? And I champion and I say this all the time. Sometimes I get my best thoughts alone. It's good being alone. I've always said this. I talk about a lot of plethora of different things. Being alone doesn't mean that maybe you're a loner, right? Let's just say that. Being alone allows you to reflect internally into yourself and ask yourself is what can I work on? Mentality, could be finance, right? Could be maybe, saving money because you want to maybe buy that condo, buy that house, buy that car that you want. Being alone is some of the best moments. And I preach that a lot. Not every time you got to be in a relationship. You see people in and out of relationships because they're serial daters. And it's like, what's the point? You need to be doing that. You need to really just be alone, sit within your mess, and find yourself how to become better, right? I'm all for finding that coach, finding that mentor. You know what I mean? And just really just unlocking the true belief of that. Guess what? Anything you put your mind to, it's gonna take 365 days a year. It's gonna. It's gonna. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's gonna take longer than that. Everybody wants that viral moment that you speak about, but they don't understand when you get that viral moment. Viral is when you're on like every single publication. If I type in "sell beats" into Google and you go viral, you're trending on every big platform. Same thing. Rory, Mitchell Report Unleashed, officially Rory. You're trending on every single platform. That's your viral moment. And then it just, you build into that. You wake up the next morning, you're like, yo, where did all this traction come from? Where did all this business sales come from? You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah. And then, like, to piggyback off of that, it's kind of like you striving to get to that viral moment, but like what you said, Rory, viral is going to every single publication where everybody sees it. That means Good Morning America may see it, Fox sees it, ABC sees it, Disney sees it, ESPN sees it, Blog sees it, everywhere. It's over. It's all over everywhere. But what do you want to go viral? Do you want the act of doing something to go viral, or do you want your product or what you work so hard for all your life to go viral? You know, that's the major key. What is it do you want? Because you're going to be remembered more for the whatever the hell you just did to get you on those publications. But what you worked your whole life for to get noticed and get verified is going to be the second. It's going to be second tier. It could be first tier if it went viral. If that was how it went viral, it's about the thing about keep going, like we talked about, keeping going, don't give up, try different creative ways how to get where, networking, surround yourself with the right people. That's going viral in real life going viral. Because after the views and everything like that, you clog up the internet can go down to tomorrow, today. It don't mean a damn thing. You just still the regular Smo Joe or the regular Stella. And I'm not
You
talking about the
know,
beer.
it's so, I feel you. You know what's so crazy about that this little piece there? The internet can go down. We've seen where Instagram goes down. Back last year around this time, right? It
Yeah,
was the whole like our whole cell phone network went down. If you were on a certain network, you didn't have access to nothing, no Wi-Fi, no data. Bro, I had to sit.
yeah, it was like a day. Everybody went
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. And dude, I'll keep it real with you. I'll keep it real with you. I had to sit in the McDonald's. I had to go to the McDonald's 2 times because I had to simply sit here and be plugged in. And yo, shout outs to Real Recognize Real. A couple of my guys in stateside because there was a death, that close family friend of mine, and they checked in.
Yeah,
They checked the hell in. And it's wild how they could check in and I was connected to Wi-Fi. But anybody else couldn't even, they know where I live. They could just pull up, right? You could have walked to my house. You could drive to my house. Yo, you good? Everything all right? You need anything? And you remember these things. And it's wild because the other day, I'm going to say it, I'm going to wake it up. I saw this particular person and instantly they had to face themselves, red, flush in the face, embarrassed. They didn't want to be seen because they realized they had to face reality. You see what I'm saying? Do unto others as you want to be done unto yourself. It's the golden rule. But too many people miss that. Do unto others as you want to be done unto yourself. I don't want to sit here and preach on a Sunday though, but it looks like we're preaching on a Sunday.
might as well. But I'm drinking communion wine, by the way. So go ahead, brother Rory, Pastor Rory. Go ahead.
My brother, that's what I love about you, bro. That's what I love about you.
Let's go. Talk the word.
Yeah,
TD
man.
Rory.
Yes, sir. I'll say this to you.
Yeah.
You know, we both work a 9 to 5, and this is why I want to make this production that we're doing valuable. What is the first step that you did to realize, hey, I want to slowly break away from the 9 to 5, but still be in it to really start creating this brand for yourself? What was one of the first things you did?
Great question. The first thing that I realized is that I didn't want to answer to a boss every day. So basically, what I did was like, you know what, I'm going to put myself in position to take more chances and more risk than just accepting what it is right now. So meaning like, take more time off of work to ready yourself for self and mind, and to also see what else is out there in the world, and not in a corporate box where you on the two screens and computer all day 9 to 5. You're doing the same thing. It's a repetition. It's a drill. It's more like you're a puppet. It's like Geppetto is controlling the strings, and you're going to work every single day, doing the same thing, like everybody else. But what isn't it for you besides a paycheck? And if the paycheck ain't that great to begin with, how do you make yourself valuable to like make you worth more than what you're doing from 9 to 5? Because I'm still thinking about C.E.L.L.BEATZ Productions, C.E.L.L.BEATZ, the brand, while I'm there at the 9 to 5. But outside of that times 10, I go harder because what I feel from 9 to 5, not that I hate it, it's just that I know that eventually we all want nice things. You want to live comfortably. We all want to find something that we worked and built from the ground up to where it is right now. You want to eventually get to a point where like I don't want the 9 to 5 to keep funding. I want that the funding fund the funding. Because right now 9 to 5 funds. But then you want to get to a point where the 9 to 5 no longer is required to fund. We no longer need your services. That's the point where we're trying to get to. But this is part of the grind. This has to be done. And and I put that mindset like, you know what? I'm not going to do this forever. I'm not going to be like the ones who do like, you get 20 years, 30 years in working for one job, retirement, get your pension and this and that, social security and all that. And then you die. You get to enjoy your life at 65. Who the hell wants to wait until they're 65 to enjoy their life? I am 33 years old. Why don't you enjoy it now while you're young? Be 30 years ahead of the game. So you can have a more wide spectrum to enjoy it. And make sure that your parents are taken care of, and make sure your family's taken care of. Make sure, because more so, I want to take care of my family. I want to make sure they're set for life before I'm set for life, because that's the sacrifices that they done for me and support they for me. I have to make sure they're good first before I'm good, because I already know I'm good if they're good. You know, and I know that ain't gonna work by just still doing the 9 to 5, just 9 to 5 alone. And I do amongst other things. I'm a hustler. Hustler. That doesn't mean illegal. It means it means like finding ways to finance yourself or get multiple streams of income. And then you distribute that accordingly and plan it to where your money is spent. It's exiting this way, or is triaging that way, or is look is a there's a two different split road. Do I go right or left? I want to get to the point where it doesn't even matter. They say if you go one way, that's the wrong way. I want to go where there's two ways where both are the right way, just getting to the same result. It's just multiple. I want to get to another way, another roadway. Just like in the U.S. roadway map, or in your states in Canada, you want to have a map where it's like it doesn't matter what route I take, I'm gonna get here. Money's flowing over there. Money's flowing over there. Money's flowing over there. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna get right here, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I want to get to. So once I had all that mapped in my head, it was no telling. It's only a matter of time. But I know that also comes with risk. You gotta take chances. Like I said earlier, you gotta take chances. You can't be scared. You gotta take a leap of faith. But you want to be smart about it, though. You want to be smart about it. You don't want to just jump and just do it just for doing it because it sounds good. Yeah, but you got to prepare for that mentally while you're still doing that, still plan, still do, still active, be, you know, What's the next move? What are you gonna do? What states you gonna hit up? What networking events you gonna go? Research months in advance. What poppers you gonna do? What shows you gonna do? How's it gonna benefit you? How's it gonna benefit everybody else around you? How's it gonna get to the end game? What is the end game? Questions are gonna be answered as you go along. The answer is gonna find you more than you find the answer.
Mm, mm, mm.
So once the answer finds you, you're gonna provide the questions. You're gonna provide the questions to the answer. You know, you're gonna provide the questions to the answer. When the answer applies to you, you rebelling back. Like I did that. Then what you gonna do? What's next? What's next? I know what's next. But I'm asking the answer. What's next? You know. So that's the mindset I have. I don't care. Like I go rogue. I go rogue because I used to rely on people. I used to lean on people, needed people to go places to do this and that. No longer the case. No more. People don't let me down. People don't stood me up. People don't done this and this and that. And I don't hate them at all. Hate is a strong word. I don't hate them. I still love them. I still love them. All love. Because I want you to do well. But I just want y'all to know when this gets up here to this level of echelons, it's not to stunt on you. It's more to show you that I wish you still would have believed in me. I wish you were still there. Because I want to share this with you. But I can't because you abandoned me before you abandoned yourself. And vice versa. So it means like it is what it is. So that's why I go so hard with my brand. I go everywhere. I go everywhere by myself. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I have help along the way. Don't get me wrong. I have help along the way. I have people that help me along the way. And just I don't rely on it. I may inquire, and if not, I'm not moping. I just take care of business.
Yep. You you said so much there, man. I'm gonna have to go back
Up
and
there, man. I went off on a
uh
tangent, my man.
no, man, you said so much because it allows me now to go back and just really process because it doesn't matter who's listening, who's watching. You take at least I always say 1%. 1% better. It's always about being 1% better. And I think that that 1% better, a lot of people overlook it, right? Because, oh, well, I got to wake up. I got to go to work, like you said. The strings are being pulled. You sometimes got to go in there and you got to pull the strings, but you got to know how to be in between. You got to play both sides. You got to color in between the lines because they'll cook you. Trust me, I've seen it happen. They'll cook you, right? And they know what the greater thing is. They know that you may be here for a cup of coffee, or maybe you're here for 2, 3 years, or 4 years. But it's that what after effect. And I always realize is that when you put in an A+ performance in your job, an A+ performance will end up becoming in your brand. Because if you put a B+ performance in your job, your brand's gonna take a hit. That's why you gotta go in, you gotta do everything to the best of your ability. I've got a gift for gab, right? So I work retail. I got to keep the brand off the just because it just will change the game. People go crazy, right? But I got a gift for gab. I can talk to almost anybody and have great conversation, great dialogue. That's my strong point. That's my skill set. So what do you think is going to happen when I get on a podcast and you put this damn thing in front of my face? It's going to be the best product that you're ever going to see. And then people say, "Yo, you confident. Oh, you arrogant." No, it's not arrogant. I just know who it is that I am. If you want to know who you are, the boat's here for you. But if it gets too crowded, you're going to have to sink. It's either sink or swim. Last time I checked, you can't swim in shark infested water. This is the world we live in. It's shark infested water.
Sharks are not sharks. Can't be fish. Fish. What's the sense of doing it? Because you can't be a fish if you're trying to be if you're trying to be a powerhouse. If you're trying to make an impact, you can't be fish. That's food. You can't be food in front of people that take advantage of you. It's easy work. You easy work. You gotta be the biggest shark or a killer whale. Or if you want to get to the marine life, you want to be one of them ones with them fangs on it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be Sharknado. You trying to be Sharknado. You know. Sharknado 5, 6, 7, 8, all of them. You trying to be that person that, let them know that you're the head of the table. You're the head of the marine life. If you talk about the underwater, if you want to go to the wild, you want to be like, I'm the bear. You know what I'm saying? I'm the grizzly bear, the biggest, baddest bear that you will ever meet in your life. And you come in my territory, that means that you're a threat to my kingdom and my area that I look over, I watch over. I can't let you get by. I can't let you win. It's feast or famine at this point. So that's the trickle down effect when you have people that is a threat to you, but not to like it's a way to like where people try to do something to you or take something from you that you work so hard for. You're at a defense mode where you're protecting it. You're protecting it because you sense that threat. The reason why they're doing that is because you're on the right path. You're in the right trajectory. If you're on the right trajectory, you're not. They're not a threat to you. You know what I'm saying? But then in that case, you get comfortable. You get real comfortable. So I'm never comfortable. I'm never relaxed. There's always more. There's always work to be done. There's never a moment in time where you can ever feel that I'm going to sit back and relax and let the world take care of itself because I know that I did enough work already to this point. No, I feel like I'm not doing enough work because I'm still alive. Still alive. While I am still alive and breathing, there is work to be done.
Facts.
The only time when there's no work to be done is when you're under the ground.
Hmm.
I don't mean to be dark on the Sunday, but that's the case. It's real talk. The job not finished unless you can't do the job no more because of physical inactivity, or you can't do it because you're no longer here. While you're here, there is a lot of work to be done, no matter what age you are. So that's why and sometimes I may sometimes I don't follow what I preach. Sometimes I'm being real vulnerable right now. Sometimes I don't follow what I preach because I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And then sometimes the decisions you make, you may go, you know what, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go out here tonight. And I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna turn up, spend this money that I don't have, and I'll worry about it on Monday when the bank account, when the ledger balance gets a little red. you know, gets a little red, a little bloody. You know what I'm saying? It's not on that green side, but it's a little red. You know, and then reality sets in. So that's when how many times it's going to take you to realize that your mistakes is going to hinder you from your success. So I've been through trials and tribulations, still going through them right now at the same time, but definitely in an elevated place where I know that I know where this has to go. I know where this has to go. Whereas before, it's like I didn't know where it had to go. I was just going with the flow. But I know where this got to go. So that's how I kind of like attack it all the time 24/7, 25/8, however you want to call it.
I feel you.
Yeah, man.
For the ones that are listening, like, where can they? I see the merch. You're in America, right? I see you doing all that.
Yes.
Brilliant merch. Love the logo. I listened to the EB. I listened to the EP. Listened to the EP before we even got onto this, and I came home, and I listened to it, and I'm like, you can hear the passion. You can hear the articulate ability that you have. And again, I can say to people, never give up on yourself. You can be a C.E.L.L.BEATZ. You can be a Rory.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a podcast. You can sell your merch line. I tell people all the time, you're getting in this merch game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you source your material. Do you not?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Oh, brother, before we get out of here, talk about this. Can we talk about real quick about
Yes.
the importance of why you should source your material when it comes to fashion, personal branding?
Always got to source your material. Like it's imperative because you know the fashion industry. A lot of people are doing this highly competitive. So you got to have something that stands out. What is going to stand out from you from the rest? Um, so I have a third party. I source it through my manufacturer in Connecticut here in the States. Shout out to GMI Company. He's been like my number one for the last 6 years since I started this. Since 2017, since September of 2017, GMI company, he's been my main manufacturer, and then we've been in business ever since. That's 6 years. And I got that from my friend Shakti T Quest. She's like a mentor to me, and that's why I want to talk to her earlier. You always have that. Having a mentor is very important too, because we don't know it all. To have that mindset, so I had to get that in there. So I didn't know a whole know all to what to sell, what to not, what to price. I didn't know. I just wanted people to know who I was wherever I went. Instead of wearing like, and we all like the Nikes, the Pumas, you know what I'm saying? We like the Polo, the Ralph Lauren, we like the Gucci, Fendi, Prada, Louis V, we all that. I can't afford none of that. I ain't gonna hold you, but the European apparel, of course. But the Nike, the Pumas, the Adidas, I wear that all day. Ralph Lauren, some of them, and Lacoste. But the cost of that to wear something that is not you, how does that make you feel? That you everybody else. So I realized that nah, I can no longer be a person that wears something to say that I have something. I'm going to be the person to say that I helped build and created something. To tell people, to show people that, yo, you can make anything you possibly want. I mean, you get the help that you need from others, help craft something and be proud of it and wear it and have people let people know awareness, brand awareness. That's the word, brand awareness. I never intended to have this as a merch apparel line. I never did. Never thought of it. The only sole purpose was for me to only wear it so people know who I was when I'm performing, when I'm networking, when you know what I mean? Because I'm heavy into music. The apparel line came when the demand was high. That's your logo, that's your brand, that's you. Do you have this in pink? Do you have this in red? You got this in green? You got this in the hoodie? You got this in the hat? How much is it? Excuse me. How much is it? T-shirts. I said, I don't know, $15, I guess. I was underselling the market value for what it was when you sourcing your materials because I didn't know what the price tag was because I wasn't thinking or intending it to be a selling point. It was just for me to wear.
You see, that little part that you said about underselling, and I want you to keep going.
Yeah.
So many people don't know their value. They don't know their value because they don't have the right people in their in their circumference of their area, right? Because I think they think the right people that they have in their life is ones they keep bipping off to and talking about their dreams and their hopes and what they want to go do. Cool if you want to do that, but the wrong people are going to steer you on the wrong path. It's the people that have the success, that have the network, that have the resources, that are simply sitting here in the mud, in the trenches, that are building, can tell you, look, I see your value is one. Two, when it comes to pricing, know your value because your brand is you. It's a replica of you. You say, do you have it in pink? Do you have it in green? Do you have it in black? Hello? You gotta look at that and you gotta see what that is worth. Because if you're gonna put your time and energy into something, you want to get the benefits back. It's hard work to create a custom design, is it not?
It is. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that when I my one of my closest friends for over like 12 years now, she was the one that like helped create the logos, the eye exam logo like this. I mean the regular logo and the eye exam logo like this. I have two of them. So my friend Quinn Studios, amazing talented graphic designer. When I told her, I said I need something that describes who I am. Music producer. I wear glasses. Eye exam chart. Something personable that people can relate to. When you go to the eye doctor, when you see the eye chart again, what do you see? You see number one, number two. They ask you the question, and then when I always talk to people on pop ups and eye exams, where I'm in and networking events, and I wear the eye exam shirt, they ask me, "What is that? Wait, it's an eye exam chart." This always gets their attention because they can relate to it. I always ask them, I say, you go to the eye doctor, don't you see this? Number one and number two. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one can you see out of? So that's what I always saw when I was younger. And to this day, when I go to the eye doctor every year for my checkup, you know what I'm saying? And something that's personal, like everyone that can relate to, and to have something that people know what you do is the best of both worlds because I want to make it personal for people and it ties back in to the meaning of sell. What does sell mean? Create, evolve a life from that. Anywhere I spell this cell name or sell these productions in a way designed that can relate to people, it still has the same meaning. Always still has the same meaning. So it's not going to deviate from a different feeling or different meaning. It's just going to give you different looks for style and fashion because you know people are funny. They like certain things a certain way, but the message is still the same. It never changes. It never loses. You know what I mean? Can't go wrong with that. So I always I just say that like um I didn't do it all myself. I had help along the way. You know what I'm saying? Um at the same time, the vision opens up even more. How do you expand? So now I sketch out stuff, models, designs. I sketch out things how I want, and then I have other manufacturers from across the seas to expand it even more to get that vision to life even more while still using your primary, have a secondary, have a third, have a fourth, different opinions. Now you're into the fashion world now. Congratulations. Without you even aspiring to do that, which is in my case. That's what happens. But that's another avenue to the 10 things that I have that I said earlier. Another one down here. Entrepreneur, doing podcasts, um, merch apparel, clothing, fashion, you know, you may want to do other business ventures, video games, movie theater soundtracks, actor, content creator, different hats, 10 fingers. You probably need more. I'm like an alien. Times is all done. Men in Black might have to use that damn thing on me like I don't remember nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say it ties back in together of like, uh, your hustle, your grind, your commitment to what you're doing, and not paying attention to what other people are doing and comparing to yourself. Because that's the worst possible thing you can do to hurt yourself and hinder your growth. You know what I mean? So I'm really thinking about like how I isolate myself in terms of like make my brand differentiate myself from Selby's Productions from the next person. But I still may want to support the next person because I still do that. I want to know what you're doing, what you're about. I want to I'm a sponge. I want to learn. I'm not saying I'm doing this because I'm the best at everything. I want to make sure that I want to, know what you got going on and learn.
Big facts. Big facts. Real quick, where can everybody check you out? Plug your information, plug your brand. I got some stuff coming up in the next couple of months, and I want to highlight specific brands, right, on this journey. So I don't want no freebie. I plan on supporting you, everything you got going on, because it's something that needs to happen. I'm going to say this again because I know once everybody sees all this and they watch it, support the people that are supporting you. Okay. When you see that support, don't take advantage of it because them same people, this thing called networking is very, very strange place. And we're all synchronized and we're all linked with each other. It's wild, it's crazy. Trust me. When you start putting the pieces, they say the world's a big place. They're actually pretty small at the end of the day. Trust me when I tell you, because there's somebody that we know in our network that can vouch for that person, and you never know what that door could open up to. You know what I mean? So plug that information, my brother.
Yes, sir. So it's your boy C.E.L.L.BEATZ. My Instagram's at C.E.L.L.Millie. That's C.E.L.L.MILLI. You find me on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Pandora, Deezer. At C.E.L.L.BEATZ, C.E.L.L.BEATZ. Producer as well, artist as well. And if you ever want to support my merch, my apparel, my clothing brand, cellbeatsmerch.com, as is cellbeatsmerch.com. So that's where you can find me on all them platforms and everything. And Selby's everywhere else, TikTok, Twitter, And Instagram, like I said, it's still Millie CLMILLI. Always available for everything. Rory, thank you, brother, for having me on your podcast from the 6 to the 718 here in the States. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good,
So
man.
yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. And I'm glad we got to do this. And we planned this a couple months ago, I believe. I believe it was like in May. You told me like July was the next. I said, I'll take it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll wait. I'll
there's a
wait.
lot going on over here, man. That's the thing
I
that people
know.
don't understand.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
lot
And
going on.
I'm glad that you kept your word too. You were a man of your word. You said July, mid-July, and we are mid-July. And you was very, 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 very man to your word, true to your word. I appreciate that. I commend you. Not a lot of people do that nowadays. And I can tell how serious you are with your brand and what you're doing. And I see nothing but greatness in the future for you, my brother.
The both of us. The both
Yes,
of us.
yes,
The both of us. The both
yes.
of us. And I'll tell you this, like I said, is I plan on supporting you. Like I said, I got some pretty interesting things. I don't really want to let the cat fully out the bag. So we'll have that off-air conversation, but it's love and peace to you. And I appreciate you. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna do this again, but we're gonna be in person. So just know that. Just know that. Trust
Oh,
me.
yo, the three dots here to be continued. What's going to happen on the next
Mm.
episode on Dragon Ball, Rory, and Seth?
Put it to sleep like Steph Curry. We